Sorry,
Okay,
I don't know why I
that's
told her.
okay. All right. So, welcome everyone. We'll call the City of Canby Bicycle and Pedestrian Citizen Advisory Committee meeting to order at 6:35 on November 12th, 2024. My puppy's 8-month birthday. I'm sure you all want to know that.
My
So,
youngest son's birthday today too.
oh, gee. Nice that you're here. Thank you. We'll try to get this going. And if there, I didn't send the minutes
Oh,
out.
October. I might have printed the wrong ones.
We got
Oh,
October's.
This is
Oh,
October's
no,
right
wait.
here. Okay,
wait a minute. I think that
No, this is
I think
correct.
just the
Yeah,
top didn't get.
sorry.
Okay.
It's just
no
dated
worries.
wrong, huh?
I got confused. Okay, Cliff, let me share this so you can see it.
okay.
Okay.
One moment.
Otherwise, any comments or corrections on the minutes? And
So this is supposed to be, oh, yeah, so that's supposed to be,
yeah.
oh no,
It was-
October.
Yeah, it's
okay,
right.
sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I got confused.
Do we
Okay.
need to include in the minutes the draft that we had? I know you have it.
I don't think we have to, but it's not a bad idea.
I think we
You-
should.
would
I think we
okay,
should.
I
so
think we should.
attach
Yeah, I think we
the
should.
documents that you shared.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm. Yeah,
yes, I can do
think
that
so.
when I finalize.
All right. Okay, otherwise,
The inclusion of those documents, I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written
with the inclusion of
with
those.
the inclusion of it.
Second, thank you. All in favor?
All right.
Great, unanimous, thank you. Minutes accepted as written, but will include the documents submitted by Bruce for the, so, great. And moving on, excuse me, no public comment today, no one here from the public, so we will go on. Any new business? Otherwise, we'll go to.
I do, but it get used to with a logging road, and maybe we can talk about that.
Sure.
Oh, I don't know. if It's new business, old business, ongoing business.
Yeah, do you want to talk about it now or?
No,
when we-
just let's,
Yeah, okay, so going on to old business, e-bike regulations, Bruce.
basically, Parks and Rec, although they have not discussed to my knowledge yet.
Yeah.
I could expect them to do that next week. Jerry Delzine has met with the chief of police, and they're saying it's a 50-mile-an-hour speed zone. Hard to see what, they're also saying we're waiting to see what the state of Oregon, the Oregon Parks and Rec Department does, because we kind of dovetail into them. But we can do right now the 50-mile-an-hour speed zone. And so the chief of police told Jerry, let's go back to Parks and Rec and get that recommendation from them. I think we should make that recommendation first and send it forward to the council or to Jerry and go from there. So that's the first order of business here I have. And I think we might get pushback from Parks and Rec. Jerry shared with me, one of their members went down to a place in California, and it was a 12-mile-an-hour zone. And he kind of liked that 12-mile-an-hour zone. One, it doesn't have any legal standing. We'd have to have, the city council will have to have an ordinance to do that. 15 is already the state's standard, parks standard, our standard. The city of Eugene's speed limit is 20. And Eugene, No. Sun River's speed limit is 15. So I think we following suit, also where I've been throughout the nation, where we've had speed limits, it's usually 15. Although I will make a comment, there was one, I'm not sure it was 10 or 12. It was on Mission Bay. It's a walk that's heavily
in San
towards it.
Diego?
People are elbow to elbow. You can't ride a bike on that.
Yeah.
That was the only one I can think of that's that slow. 15, I think, is kind of the standard. Let me see. So, anyway, we might get some pushback from Parks and Rec. I don't know.
Well, who thought of the 12, was Jerry or some member of the committee?
One member of the council that saw it down
Of the
there,
council or the committee?
the committee of the Parks and Rec committee. I don't remember which member it was.
I think 15 is good, and if that's a problem, then you can always change it to 12.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna be unique, we can make it 13.
I know, that's what I was saying, split the difference.
13.
Well, maybe
No,
13
and
is
that's-
worse.
my attitude is,
I'd love to
let's
see
start
a 13 mile.
instituting something. And then, if it's a problem, we keep ratcheting it down and tightening it up as best we can.
But we won't, there won't,
There won't be a problem.
there won't be a problem because there won't be any enforcement at 15 and at 12 either probably.
Yeah.
So it's
Just
just.
we take the chief of police out there with his radar gun and a motorcycle.
Yeah, there'd have to be an electric motorcycle.
Or it'd be fun,
That's all
fun
right,
to
it'll be
have,
fast enough.
have one of those signs like
Easy.
in Aurora that says, great job, way to go, or whatever, when you're going within the speed limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hardly anybody sees that message.
So today I had a
I
conversation
do.
with Jerry Nalzine. It's like, okay, what's, give me the latest where you're at.
Yeah.
And the chief of police made the comment that we maybe should put a painted line down the center of the multi-use path. And
That's
I said,
what
we've already
I-
talked about that.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
my comment today is 50-mile-an-hour speed zone. And I suggest the additional logging road safety improvements. Add a painted dashed center line in the center of the logging road multi-use path. The purpose is to encourage users to keep to the right and improving safety. 2, at the very north end of the logging road, multi-use path, where it forms a loop at the site of the log dump, make it a one-way traffic pattern in a counterclockwise direction. So that's I'm just, we've already kind of talked about it a little bit. And I didn't really want last time to really submit it, but I know it's on Jeff's mind. You
Yeah.
got the suggestion for the police chief. I think it's time for us to lay it forward. Obviously, it's not the time of year we're going to start painting yet. And I asked Jerry, said, is it cost prohibitive to do the whole thing? He said, it's not that bad. And we just got to wait for the weather to change. I said, okay, we'll get it on the work list to do, and so that's my recommendation here. So we got.
Does that require an ordinance or is it can be just done without an ordinance?
Painting or
Painting, I
the,
don't think is an ordinance, right?
yeah, and so the miles per hour, I'm not sure. It seems like that's kind of already the unofficial, or
Well,
like
it's
that
what
is
it
the
is. It's the
official,
park, it's this Canby Park
Yeah.
speed limit.
Yeah.
and that's already adopted.
It's already adopted.
Mhm.
And that's why
Just post it.
Jerry's
Yeah, then I
and the chief
think,
are centering on 15. So just take what I
unless-
have here.
I mean, I think it's ultimately a Jerry decision, but, so if he feels differently, but if it's already in our, adopted, I don't see why. If we were
Always-
going lower or higher, if we were
Mhm.
doing something drastically different,
Then I have to go through.
Yeah.
the ordinance.
yeah, then I think an ordinance or like a resolution would maybe be, something. But
I still don't know the difference between an ordinance and a resolution. I should ask. I'm on the council. I
an
should know.
ordinance is like changing like a law, whatever, a law, a standard, a policy, whereas a resolution is like an action related to them, maybe? So like the ordinance would be council is the
One.
right, is the authority in
Right,
charge of
conditional.
speed limits. The resolution would be, don't hold me to this, but like,
Just
council
exactly
is for this
like
specific
you're
thing,
doing 50
council is,
improvements.
I think.
So there could be a resolution to make an ordinance.
Yeah, or there could be a
Well, we
I
have
don't
a
know
lawyer
where-
to
I'm
ask,
out
to
of my
answer those
realm.
questions. I'm just.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know, Bike Ped could
The-
recommend that council look
Mm.
at it, kind
but
of.
you're saying it's already 15 miles an hour for vehicles, cars, right?
Mhm.
So just say adopt for the bike path the same,
That's exactly.
yeah, I mean, rather than just include the bike path in the speed limit.
Does anybody remember what the community park speed limit is?
15.
Is that 15, the community park?
15.
To
Yeah.
like the driving, if you're
You know,
driving
when you
through,
go around the
there's,
circle.
I
and-
didn't realize they had speed limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we could
Yeah.
say as standard to Canby Parks
Yeah.
and Rec
just-
facilities.
It's probably an area, do you need to post it? Well, you probably need to post it down on the park, down on the Malala, where it drops down, Legacy Park, is that right? That's right. You know, you might want to post it there, but probably most of the parking lots, you don't even bother posting it,
Yeah.
but.
The
it needs to
trail,
be
you
posted.
probably should post it,
And on
yeah,
the trail, it needs to be posted.
yeah, in several different spots. because-
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say let's default to Jerry, but my assumption is it's not with me then.
Could I say something?
Yes.
Yes,
Bruce, are they asking us to recommend to somebody the 15?
They were asking the Parks and Rec to make that recommendation. I would suggest that we make that recommendation now.
To
And
whom?
I'll make it to Jerry, and I'll hand it to Jerry, and I'll make it to the Parks and Rec.
So why don't we do that?
Is that a motion?
Yeah. But the motion I would like to do is, let's do all 3 points here.
Yeah,
yeah, so, just for clarity sake, the dashed center line is just to keep, it's not dividing it pedestrians versus bikes. It's if you're going, just like in the center of,
right on the right side.
yeah,
Right. Just like it is
Just-
under the underpass, that's all it is.
Okay.
It's a visual reminder to keep to the right. That's all it is.
yeah,
You know, you drive down the road and you keep to the right of the
Yeah.
line.
Until you hit Britain.
Japan.
And are you asking for
Australia.
that for the whole
I'm
trail?
not sure about New Zealand.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, New Zealand, they do too, yeah.
Oh.
India, do they
Excuse
do in
me,
India or do they go right?
No
Although
idea. I think they
Indonesia.
go everywhere.
at the loop,
Indonesia.
at the end,
Oh, yes, okay, because he
should just
specified.
make it
Or at
one
least
way,
Bali.
Okay.
counterclockwise.
But other than that one piece, everything.
Everything
all the way,
else
okay.
is
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we understand. the scope.
dashed line.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and, okay,
It'd be clever if we could come up with some cute speed limit signs like caution, squirrels at play, slow down, or something like that. Or salamander crossing or something.
I move that Brit create.
That could be cute and fun. I think there's creative things we could do on the trail that would, anyway, but that's a different subject. Okay, so, shall we make a motion to,
You made a comment here to the side, and we're gonna
Yeah.
include that
yeah,
visual reminder to keep to the right.
yeah,
I-
as
I-
a,
Here's why I'm asking that. I think Jerry is thinking about just painting 50 miles per hour on the pavement for the speed limit. If he posts a sign, very easily you could put that underneath it, keep to the right. And I've got photos of examples of that. And I've shown that to Jerry already. I think right now, let's simplify it. I would drop that off right now. Because you're not gonna get, Jerry does not want to put more posts in for
I'm not,
signage.
oh, no, I'm not saying, that's not what I'm saying.
What do you say?
I'm
Oh, I
ju-
thought you were
Just,
talking about.
no,
signage. Oh, okay.
no. I'm just saying, because I was going, what is that dashed center line really servicing? And I was just saying, just for clarity, well, the purpose is to encourage users to keep to the right and improve safety, which is already what you said.
Yeah.
So sorry.
All
Even
right.
the walking people, they'll probably,
I just had to read
One
the
to the right
second
if there's a
sentence,
line.
sorry.
that'll let the bicycles pass me more easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's probably frustrating when my family used to get on the bike trail and we just kind of take over the whole.
It happens.
Yeah.
And there was like, they like ding, 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 or whatever, you know, like,
Yeah.
okay, let's get over.
Yeah.
Oh. But
So,
you know, you gotta just go with the flow.
I know.
You know, I mean, everybody, that's, you know,
yeah.
I've never had a bad experience with
Yeah.
a bicyclist on their walking trail. Now, the sidewalks in downtown Canby I have, but not the biking trail.
So we can submit this. Is this anything we should vote
Well,
on to
I've-
submit or?
I made it, I guess, a
motion?
motion.
Yeah.
It needs a second and then
Yeah.
discussion and follow.
Well, yeah. So,
We have a discussion though.
yeah, Bruce made the motion. We have been discussing. Any further discussion, or actually, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
I can't
Thank you,
second.
Britt. Any further discussion? Otherwise, we can, if not, all those in favor of submitting this to Jerry and Parks and Rec
Mhm.
as our recommendation? All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you all.
Yeah,
Emma?
we
Yeah.
like having.
Look
an
at
ordinance.
What I just scribbled out, the 15 miles an hour. Is that clear enough for you to clear up the language?
50 miles per hour speed limit. Yeah. Yeah, so do you want me to type this
And send it to Jerry?
and I'll CC?
Oh, and you can send it to,
Yeah, the cliff too, so we can put it in the
yeah.
minutes.
send it to Cliff and,
And CC.
Parks and Rec.
All right.
And can you copy me, because
Yes.
that way I have a
And me.
physical copy.
Yeah.
Okay, Bruce, any update from Clackamas County Bike Tag?
They did not meet this month. They will be meeting next month.
Thank you. Otherwise, staff and council update?
You want to go first?
Oh,
Don't have anything really to say except for they
Congratulations.
elected me. So now that, I figured before I was sort of a trial council member. Now I'm a full one, so now I expect some ordinances from this committee.
Thank you.
Or at least
Yeah,
resolutions.
congratulations. and thank you
Resolutions,
for
yeah, we gotta get some, I wanna see you guys at the council meeting. Gotta push for the orphan sidewalk or the,
Yeah,
gap things or something, Cause I talked about that. I've talked about before, but I was sort of waiting to see whether I'd stay on before cause it's gonna take a lot of effort to push for a solution to the sidewalk issue, but I think it's about time there is some sort of solution.
Could you use some of the road funds in making those sidewalks?
I think that would be the key. The issue, the big issue for the sidewalks is gonna be taking the property from the homeowners. Of course,
Property, the homeowners don't own that property.
well, on they said for some of the lots, but we can, they still own the property. It's the sidewalk. You own the sidewalk,
It's right away.
Yeah, but
It's a
yeah.
right,
Mhm.
it's a right of way thing, but that's because I think it makes no sense that when I walk to work that I cannot take the sidewalks unless I actually plan a detour to take the sidewalk and then it just makes, there are so many
It annoys
rules.
me, like Holly is such a major street. You can't walk down Holly.
Yeah.
You know, 10th is another one. I mean, but there's
Yeah.
several.
Yeah, I avoid 10th. I
There's-
actually go the side roads to avoid 10th when I'm walking because it's like, I don't want to walk on 10th.
Mhm.
It's dangerous.
And maybe,
Improve 10th.
yes.
Cliff's on
And I
board.
think in our conversations, as our population is going up and traffic is going up and people want it to be drivable and all that, we have to recognize it's a danger
I wonder if-
to active transport pedestrians and cyclists. So we need sidewalks, as we've heard over and over. Go ahead.
I'm wondering if there's any funds in safe routes to schools for sidewalks.
There is.
Well,
But
I
you
know
need
there's money, but I don't know
someone-
if what I've seen of it is it has to be outside East City.
What
I know that 91 is getting some money from Safe Routes to Schools.
Oh,
What I think would be cool, I think that would actually get something to happen, is if every single councilman, you may just rotate, but somebody goes in the public comment and says, we need sidewalks, and just, that's it, because the thing is, I say I need sidewalks, everybody goes, oh, I agree, and then
and then it
look, a
disappears.
squirrel, and then but if you're doing it every time, they're like, okay, so we'll just at least try to get it resolved to get them to stop coming and annoying us. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
it's the, what is it, the old,
Like you will.
from the Bible, the old parable of the unjust judge, where they just like pesters them and eventually they get their way. And actually, I've seen that happen a lot, where people just like, because they only remember what's in front of them, and next week there's something else. But that's what the public comment section is there for. You can just say, hey, I am on the bike committee and the pedestrian committee, we need sidewalks. And then they'll get a little bit annoyed, but they're all pleasant enough, just pleasantly annoyed. We'll all get pleasantly annoyed.
I think people not on the bike and ped committee, just random
But they don't even know you're on the bike. committee.
citizens.
They'll think it's random
Oh,
for at least the
okay.
first 5 or 6
So
rotations.
just don't say.
Well, I don't know. The thing is, the city council.
Just a random citizen.
At least it's at the beginning of the meeting, so you could just leave after. You
Yeah,
don't
but
have to
it'd be
stay.
more effective is if we did it at the end of the meeting, because they have public comment at the end and the beginning. But no one ever does it at the end. They always do it at the beginning. But officially, we
Because
have
they
it.
want to leave.
They want to leave. But at the end, we're like, we want to go home. And you're like, no, you can't go home until I get my say first.
Yeah,
Uh,
that'd be effective in getting them mad at you.
No, it just gets them till they get the attention. Everybody knows it's a problem, but they always want to not think about it. That and the property for the logging trail will get extended. That's kind of things that everybody's like, we just don't want to deal with it. That's what I get the impression, they don't want to deal with it.
I think we need to just set our priorities. Sidewalks first. I think I haven't forgotten about it,
Not at all.
but I don't see it happening now with the present council.
Yeah.
And so it's, just don't let the issue die, but just
But
let's-
if we
let's go
can
after other
get the,
issues.
Yeah, we got 4 years on the council, so we let's first one thing first and the next thing.
yeah, and also, with our with our traffic safety plan, it was the safe walking and sidewalks and all safety was what their main concern was of the
This is,
community.
that's a good suggestion. I think we ought to figure out how to do it. I know that if it was, you've said it, and if we walk out of the meeting, I'll forget about it, And so it would almost be, if we think it's worthwhile, then we ought to set up a kind of a schedule. We don't all have to go every meeting, but we could take turns or something. Maybe bring somebody along with us.
That's,
We
That's
don't, us and bring 1 or 2 other people and say, twist their arm if you have to, because the last thing they're going to do is, leave home and go to a city council meeting. It'll scare them and say, well, you don't have to do anything. You just stand next to me. And,
And it's not scary. Once you do it a couple times, it's not
yeah,
scary.
it's
Yeah.
not,
We've not yet, tried to physically punish anybody that testified. Even the worst you'll ever get is a roll of the eye, but you can recover from that fairly easily.
yeah.
Mindy, I have an idea for a future agenda item. There is a gal that's head of Safe Routes to School on the county level.
yeah,
Why don't we invite her? She will know more about funding sources, and Scott will know the name, or I can get the name either way. Or actually probably just go online. It'll probably be easily enough to find
Yeah.
online.
I would recognize her name if we.
Yeah,
said it,
I could pick it out on a multiple choice test.
Especially
But
since
do
they're.
we have someone, a contact person at any of the schools that's
I
the
don't
key
think we,
piece?
I don't think we do.
There's I've been talking to the new facilities, some new facilities and operations folks. I'm not
Oh,
saying the
really?
right title. But I had some communication with them recently over a project, so we could maybe.
That would be a
That'd be great, and bring them both to the same
I
meeting.
think that we should first kind of I think that we need to maybe, before we bring the school district in, should we kind of have a little bit more of a defined scope of what we're trying to work with them with? Cause right, there's a lot of things to get funding, you're gonna need a plan, right? There's kind of like a lot of steps, so maybe we can talk to get some kind of information of the county of how to learn and then bring in the school district of like, hey, we got 3 ideas or so, kind of work through some ideas with them.
We can also ask our contact to
Yeah, or their
what her recommendation
recommendation, 'cause-
is.
Yeah,
We don't have, we are looking to find someone at the schools to
Well, now that they're
take this
moving
on.
the Canby Adult Center to the Methodist
true.
Church, it might be a thing to say, hey, let's just get a sidewalk down Holly. Just as by the time they move.
Holly or Ivy?
That was,
Holly, okay, for the adult center.
Because they're moving the adult center down there.
my other thought was kind of to Counselor Stern's point of like, yes, what am I trying to say? Being consistent and talking to the council, but if there's something with like a really defined scope, right, everybody wants more sidewalks. It's a
Yeah.
real, like, where do you begin, where do you start?
Right.
Whereas maybe if you come in with, we think X, Y, and Z are really good places that need sidewalks now for whatever reason, this reason we feel, I think that could really start kind of get the discussions, get them to like a point with leverage quicker than where do, yes, we want sidewalks, where do we even begin, kind of?
Yeah.
And that's a
If
hard thing to have that kind of discussion in a council meeting to work through that.
Well, and the idea is, of course, to do them all,
Sure.
it's gonna take forever, but to do
No.
one of
And
them.
funding.
You pick on one and get it done.
Yeah, because like now we have Ivy is scheduled. I don't know, why is it that?
Ivy
I
is
thought that was
the
supposed to
count.
start. Oh, they were supposed to, that was a big project, it was
Didn't
approved.
start.
Yeah,
Well, they're tearing up the road.
we're doing some tear up the road.
They're
Maybe there's
doing
some limit.
the infrastructure first.
Yes, because
Utilities and
because
that.
it's already been approved to put the
Undergrounding.
sidewalks on Ivy up to, I think it
13,
goes up to 13th. So
Yes.
that's already,
and then
I mean,
everything south of that.
it'll happen slower than we want it to, but it's
Yeah.
already moving. So then we gotta move to another street and say, hey, let's do another street.
Nicole
Holly might be the-
Perry, does
Might be the
that
one to do
sound-
next.
Maybe, but it also depends, say, routes to school might take precedent if we could get some funding
Yeah.
too. So I think that we should lay out a plan.
Nicole Perry, coordinator, does that
Yes,
sound about
that's it,
right? So
that's
she's
her.
from the street trust?
Right.
Okay,
Yes, Nicole.
completed action. So yeah, so like, it seems they have some good stuff that I can look through before our next meeting, but Safe Routes to School definitely has funding. I'm not really familiar with what quite, what are the criteria, but I do know that you're gonna need first we would need to create a plan for something to say, hey, we want money for this thing and we've, done this plan evaluation, what have you.
Maybe it would be wise to ask Jerry to come in or the city administrator or whoever you think the appropriate
Mhm.
person would be to let us know what the scheduled and upcoming sidewalk gaps that are going to be addressed.
That's a good idea.
What the schedule is. And from there, we can help identify,
Mhm.
through outreach and otherwise just figuring out where the other gaps are and how we can help
Mhm.
in the sense of, sometimes you think, oh, we need it here, we need it here. Well, that's scheduled for 2026, So I think we need to touch base with Jerry and maybe he's always said he's willing to come in and
Yeah, I'm
Chat,
sure he would be
so
willing to come if he's
maybe-
available for the next
Yeah.
board meeting. And similar to that, the not fun part, but still effective is advocating for programs to get on the CIP list, the capital improvement plan list.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
right, so kind of what you're talking about,
Yeah.
Mindy, like, oh, we say, where's the sidewalks on Holly? And we'll look, and it might be in the CIP for 2028, which,
Yeah.
it's frustrating to be like, we have to wait. But, starting for this cycle to advocate for something 2 years down the line, if you get it in the plan, that's a big win, even though you don't see the immediate
Exactly.
return. But that could also be something to start thinking about.
And that's
too.
really what I'm,
Sure, yeah,
meaning
and
to
you know,
refer
maybe
to.
that's the start of like, hey, we wanna get these in the CIP to know
Mhm.
that we wanna start thinking about, can we allocate funding for it now? And maybe that's step one, and maybe step two is how can we push the project up? Can we get Safe Routes to School funding? Can we get some other funding, you know? But yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we should definitely have someone kind of walk us through what is on the
Yeah.
CIP today, because I truly am not familiar.
and
with
whether
our
it's
CIP.
Jerry or whoever the appropriate
I think
person would be.
Jerry would probably be the best person to start with.
Yeah.
But I'll ask him if he thinks if anybody else
Yeah.
should attend.
And that'll kick us off in a good way and then we'll know where and what we might want to advocate for.
So we're really taking a couple meetings here in our planning. So the first one is bring Jerry in,
Mm-hmm.
Nicole Perry on the next one, and then whoever
Most likely.
safe routes to school person in the Canby area, bring them in on the third.
Unless, in the meantime, we should check with Nicole Perry and just say, do you have a suggestion on,
Okay, do you want to
you
check?
know, yes, I
chair?
will
Okay.
check on that.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I-
And so,
Does the state, I'll do some research. Maybe there's a state representative. I know that it's a fairly robust program, and maybe there's a state
There
rep
is a state
that
program.
maybe
Yeah.
they'd be willing to give us, come and talk to us.
Yeah,
too.
and there may not be money in the county level available to us, but it
Um,
might come from the
there's-
state.
I do think there's a statewide grant
Yeah,
program for it as well.
yeah, I think you're right. I think that's.
I think there's limited, right? There might be like certain rural,
Yeah,
urban funds each year.
exactly. I
but-
think
but
what I'm
that's the kind
seeing
of
is
stuff would be
rural
good to
funds.
learn.
is where they were
It's where I've seen it,
concentrating.
and because it has gone to
Yeah.
the cities. The cities have their own access.
I see
Well,
separate.
it was a few years ago that we had Safe Routes to School funds for Trost.
Yeah.
Mhm. Those improvements around Trost, that was Safe Routes to School.
Was it?
Yeah, that might have been just before you got on, or was it?
I don't
We
remember.
gotta go to
Anyway.
Eccles.
We've done a lot, so it's.
Eccles,
Yeah,
Eccles has
but it's
got
been a while, so,
lots of the orphan sidewalks around that
Yeah.
neighborhood. Eccles, it's over there on, next to Knight, Eccles are kind of like the same.
Oh, yes,
school.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
on the north side here. So, and
The
Okay.
beauty of the older part of town is if you look, there's actually a lot of right of way there's a lot of right of way available. Like they planned these really large streets, but they're not actually using them that large right now. But then you have people upset because they think they're in their front yard, they think 10 feet of their front yard is theirs.
Mhm.
yeah.
So that's a little bit of a political pushback, but
And a lot of people.
We won't have another election for 4 years on my part. So
Then they'll regret it.
and then I'll quit.
All right. So, and we'll get down to our next meeting and schedule in a little bit here. So, any further updates?
I just have one quick update. We ran the posting for the openings in our committee for 2-3 weeks in the newspaper. No bites, unfortunately.
I have a friend I might be able to talk into coming onto the board. He's an avid bicyclist.
Yeah,
He's also a developer. I don't know if you like developers, but yeah, he's.
no, he might be able to help us.
It'd be good to know
Yeah,
how they think.
it would be
Yeah.
good.
Get in
Yeah.
No, I
get
think
in
it's the
the
reason why I
money.
want him on the council, because he's sometimes complains about saying, so get involved,
Yeah,
come to a committee,
Yeah.
do the bike
Yeah.
committee.
You can do a test run and just come in and listen.
The other
Might
person
be
we should
terrific.
reach out to, maybe to be on this committee, is the Safe Routes to School person.
oh, for sure, for sure. I was thinking that same thing,
No,
because
that's a-
they're almost, that worked out best when we had that person on the committee. It was pretty great.
You want to add that to your list of. to
So-
do?
Yes, the, All right,
Um,
yes.
so in the newspaper thing, I put a deadline just to kind of encourage some sense of urgency for folks.
Yeah.
But it will remain open. I asked them to keep it open online, so just a heads up. If you end up talking to anybody that says, oh, I saw I passed, we're still taking applications. There was just a suggested deadline.
Just a question, how did you get on the committee?
How did I get on?
I mean, how did you, yeah, just 'cause maybe that'll be a,
I think I was at a community meeting for, maybe it was the Canby Visioning in 2013, or maybe it was
did
before
somebody
that.
ask you? or-
And I happened to be talking with Counselor Parker, and then he identified me and.
How about you,
approached.
Bruce?
On the stone tablet, I read there was an opening. I had no idea. I don't remember. I don't know if Mindy brought me on or if
Yeah.
I know that I got in, when I was going to retire, that's when I really took a lot more interest in doing it because I knew I had the time.
How about you, Cliff?
I was nominated by Tracy Height.
You what?
He was nominated by,
Tracy Height.
yeah. And
Yeah. Then you got me drinking wine. The wine festival.
And Britt, you were through carbs and,
No, through, I saw the ad in the newspaper.
Oh, it wasn't through cars. It wasn't through cars.
That's how I found out, is the ad in the newspaper.
I thought the election would get a lot of eyes on the news. I thought if I put it in the election results paper,
Oh,
that would be the
yeah.
most eyes.
yeah.
Not enough, apparently. I'll close the doors.
Okay,
Yeah, I was just thinking of,
You just
you know,
approved
how,
their contract.
how we did it in the past and how it's mostly just
yeah.
changed almost.
I have in the past reached out to like high school counselors to see if kids were looking for volunteer things to, if they could say that they sat on a citizen advisory
Mhm.
committee, it'd be good on their resumes for college and elsewhere, but never got a bite. So, but I might do that again, especially as
Well,
I
you know, if
reach
the
out
weather
to the
was good, and more
school.
people were riding on the bike path, we could set up a little stand, We never, that's what we did sometime we did that. What were we doing for that? Remember?
Yeah,
Handing out stuff about the logging road trail.
Hey, well, we could do that sometime in the summer. We could
Do
basically
it
set a
when the
little
weather's
table.
good, more people are out.
But, we'd be handing out like bicycle safety or something,
cookies.
pamphlets and cookies,
What?
and then mention to people we have,
Cookies.
and have applications for bike and pedestrian committee there as well, like in there, say.
And then,
or, you know what, having the application at hand or the link.
Just the application at hand, just print it out. I mean, that's what people to fill it out. So, hey, so if you want to volunteer, you could do that on a summer day or a spring day or whatever that is.
And I will say, I don't think we've gotten somebody to that point where that's the prohibitive factor, but the questions on the application could maybe seem intimidating, like you're supposed to write, provide a lot of response, where in reality.
You don't have to put anything hardly. I did that for the city
Format,
council
yeah.
and I didn't hardly put anything on there. Spent about 5 minutes on it.
So if someone says to you, oh,
Yeah,
you
we
can
can
say,
encourage them.
don't worry about it, just kind of put a sentence or whatever.
Thank you, and I will reach out to Nicole Perry and try to contact the schools, or I'll
So,
figure out that, and that might be a committee member if we can.
so is the hope
Anything
that
else?
Jerry comes in December and then Nicole would come in the new year? Okay, I just want to make sure that.
If we can get Jerry,
Yeah.
pending.
You know what? Well, let's find out,
I'll
ask
email-
Jerry first. If he's not
Yeah.
available, we'll
Then-
flip flop him.
Sure, good
Yeah.
idea. I'll reach out to him this week and let you know when I
Okay.
hear back.
Thank you. And then as far as hotspots go, just comment how wonderful those crosswalks are on Redwood. I've been getting good feedback from people, how much they appreciate them, and I have to say, I really like them. So
I'm wondering if we need another one or two.
on Redwood.
Mhm.
Is
I haven't
there-
picked a location in my mind, but on the north end, it seems like there isn't one for a long ways.
Mhm. Partly because there's not a,
I have to look. That's one thing.
Sidewalk
It's
to
a
connect
site
to.
location.
or not, yeah, if we can identify one.
No.
Yeah. I think they've been so well received. Yeah. Any other hotspot comments? Britt, anything outreach wise?
No, just I have an update that Emma put an ad, has the ad in the newspaper for the position.
How about the
Thank you.
Facebook
And
page?
then we've done that. I've done that before, put it on the Facebook thing. And I just feel like I put it both on Carbs and the Logging Road one. And I feel like, and I think I did that a couple times, but I just feel like it didn't, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
We might try it,
Could,
throw it
yeah.
up and see what happens. I mean,
yeah.
me
Is
neither.
there, I think, yeah, and I think I used the link that's on the
Yes, yeah, there's a link to the
website.
online.
That's great.
Yeah. But I do agree that it does make it seem like a really
Yeah.
time
We
consuming,
need to talk to-
a little overwhelming. I feel like it comes across as being overwhelming
Yeah, intimidating and,
more than what it is, I think.
yeah.
If it could be simplified, that I think would be more.
Or even if there
likely.
was like something at the top that, just one, please provide just at least one,
Yeah.
something to convey that you don't need to write paragraphs on paragraphs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. That was the thing I was doing. I took 5 minutes to fill it out, but I was just sort of making up stuff and that's possibly like, I'm not making it up, but I was just putting it
Writing
in.
on the fly.
Yeah, but I guess people sometimes take that more seriously, where they're like, I gotta get everything exactly right. They're gonna do a background check. They're gonna go find my criminal record. And I'm like, I don't care if you have a criminal record, just come, just behave yourself at the meeting. So,
If that kind of rounds up our meeting, on December 10th, that would be our next meeting. A lot of times in years past, we've done kind of a combo November, December meeting, but sounds like we have a little momentum going. If will people be here December 10th available for the meeting?
I
I'm not planning
You're
on
here?
going anywhere.
You're here?
Early December is usually okay. If it was like
Yeah.
mid-December, I would probably say.
Yeah.
Just keep it.
I'm here.
I'll be here.
Okay,
Okay.
so, all right,
Between-
great. And so December 10th will be our next meeting and our minute taker will
I think
be.
it's Russ.
think Russ,
'cause
right?
I
'Cause-
did the
yeah.
last.
Yeah, we need more members.
Just to take me.
That's your incentive to get someone else. on the
Yeah, that's what we
committee.
need. So otherwise, I'll take a move to adjourn. Thank you, Russ. Second,
I'll second.
Britt, thank you. All in favor? Great, thank you all very much. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Somebody
Thank
needs to
you, you
explain to
too.
me, why the
Oh, meeting adjourned, yeah.
dollar to euro change, how,